This video is sponsored by PotownStore.com, the best place to get yourself some TCGO code cards. Looking for that last card to complete your online deck or just to find the latest booster packs in town, they literally have everything, and all these codes will be compatible with the upcoming TCG Live client. So be sure to stock up on some codes right now and use the coupon code ZapDogsTCG for 5% of your next order. Also, this video is sponsored by CardMarket.com. This is a European platform where you're able to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. You can get the latest product, you can get some cool promo cards, like for instance this Luxray on the screen right now. Be sure to check out the affiliate link down below, and you're going to be helping out the channel tremendously. Last but certainly not least, this video is also sponsored by YourPlaymat.com, the best website to create your own unique custom playmat. And of course, you can get 10% off your order by clicking the link down below. And you can, of course, create your own playmat by just starting here, and they ship worldwide. So what are you waiting for? So be sure to check it out. Thanks for sticking around with the commercials. Let's get this show on the road. Peace. Sup YouTube, it's ZapDogsTCG here, and welcome back to our TCG deck profile video on my channel. On my channel, you get the latest Pokemon TCG information in town, and every day you get uploads, so be sure you are subscribed if you're new to the channel. Today we're finally going to be talking about Fusion Strike decks. We've been, of course, in the Evolving Skies meta for ages, and we talked about all the decks there are, almost all of them. You can find them over at my channel if you want to see some gameplay footage. Right now, it's time to focus on the future, and I want to get everybody ready with Fusion Strike. We already made a top 20 best cards of the set list video. Be sure to check that video out in the description below. If you haven't already, it's a banger of a video. You get an intro wrap, and you get all the best cards of the set, so you actually have a little bit of a set summary of what to expect. Today, Mew VMAX, the poster boy on the, Fusion Strike set itself, Mew VMAX deck profile. So first of all, a little disclaimer before you're checking out this deck profile, you should know is that we don't have Chaotic Swell to protect ourselves from Path to the Peak, and that's why we're actually running 4 copies of Old Cemetery. Also, we're running the Peony engine because Genesect is broken, but more on that later. Let's talk about Mew VMAX, shall we? Hopefully you guys are excited. If you are, be sure to let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. That way I know I need to make more deck profile videos like these, so you guys can, of course, prepare yourself for upcoming tournaments, because tournaments have been announced today as well. Actually, yesterday, when you're watching this video, I actually recorded it the day before. Doesn't matter, but tournaments have been announced, and the internationals in North America, we have a specific date, as well as for the internationals in Frankfurt in Germany. So that's going to be fantastic. I'm going to be trying and attending a lot of regionals, and it actually starts off on the 20th of March, which is crazy. I'm very excited to of course, play in those huge tournaments. Anyhow, here is Mew VMAX. It's a Fusion Strike card. Fusion Strike is a new mechanic introduced in Fusion Strike set, of course, and it has, of course, the third battle style going around with it, with cards that work very well with it. We have free retreat with the Mew VMAX because it's broken. That means you can use cards like Escape Rope and the Cross Switcher until your heart's content, because you have the free retreat, which is totally busted. Cross Fusion Strike actually allows you to choose one of your bench Fusion Strike Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack without needing the required energies. There's a lot of attacks that we want to be using, but more importantly, we're going to be using the attacks of Genesect 210, and as well as the attack from Latias, slapping 70 and being immune from VMAXs the following turn, are going to be some examples of Mew VMAX's strength. For only 2 energies, you're able to do that. I also have built-in energy acceleration with Elesa Sparkle, but more on that later. You also have the Max Miracle when slapping 130 damage, which is actually very, very nice. With, of course, the Vitality Band, you can hit straight through all the Decidueyes you ever wanted, because it isn't actually affected by any effects on your opponent's active, which is super solid for sure. We are weak to Darkness. That's also something I wanted to note down. In the Japanese format, they had Weak Guard Energy. That has long been rotated, so we don't have ways to protect ourselves from Umbreon VMAX, Eternatus VMAX, and Galarian Moltres V. These are decks or cards you never want to be seeing. If you do see them, we have a little bit of a way you can deal with them in the form of Genesect. Genesect is in this deck as well. Not only is it going to be busted to, of course, draw cards, but it also has the Techno Blast, 210 damage, and with the help of Elesa Sparkle to accelerate energies, as well as 1 Metal Saucer and an attach of turn, you can get this off in 1 turn to start slaughtering stuff like Galarian Moltres, because otherwise they just poke you and they hit you for weakness. It's not going to be too much fun, but this can be a way against stuff like Umbreon VMAX as well. So Genesect, a viable attacker in today's deck, and not only that, the fusion system is just utterly broken. Once during your turn, you may draw cards equal to the amount of Fusion Strike Pokemon you have in play. And that means you can stack this as well. Let's say you have 4 Genesect, play some cards, draw cards with Fusion System. Play some more cards, draw more cards with Fusion System. So you can draw. That's why you need a lot of item cards in this list. And that's why there's also no Professor's Research in here, because you do draw so quickly with the Genesect V. So Mew VMAX can use the Technoblast for only 2 energies, but you could also attack with Genesect in a list like this. There's also the Mew V, which is actually very funky, because with the Psycho Jump, you can slap 70 damage and shuffle this Pokemon and all cards attached to it into your deck. You could also try and make something work out with something like Elesa Sparkle on top of Memory Capsule. This is not the build we're going to be trying out right now, but it's going to be fantastic with Mew VMAX just being the poster boy. And why are the fusion cards so good, you ask? 210 damage, is that the necessary thing to get out of VMAX and do all that hassle? Well, glad you asked. We have some power tablets by our side, and these power tablets will allow you to slap 30 more damage to the opponent's active Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance. As a little example, we're slapping 210 damage. If you get, of course, 3 of these power tablets, you're slapping 300. Let that sink in. 300, that's a lot. Definitely because we are running Old Cemetery, even 4 copies, just to, of course, overlap Path to the Peak, because Path to the Peak instantly shuts down Genesect, and that's something you never want to be seeing. So that's why we need to run 4 copies of a Stadium card, and I thought this was going to be a perfect Stadium card to use, because the Old Cemetery only affects if you attach energies to non-psychic Pokemon. We can simply attach an energy to our Mew and not be affected whatsoever, so I like the Old Cemetery in here. And as mentioned, if you slap 300 damage, for example, with your Mew VMAX or with your Genesect, you're going to be having, of course, that fantastic additional buff with Old Cemetery. If the opponent attaches an energy to their Ice Rider or whatever, they actually are going to get close of being knocked out, which is super solid. So 4 copies of the Power Tablet, of course, in here. As for the Mew VMAX, we're only going to be running a 3-3 copy of the Mew VMAX, because we're also running some Great Balls in here, and Quick Ball can also find this, as well as Fog Crystal. So lots of ways to search out the basic Mew V. What else do we have? Of course, the Latias. I already hinted at this card before, but this is a fantastic way to, of course, have some checkmate scenarios going around. With the Dyna Barrier, you slap 70 damage. You can use that for 2 energies with the Mew VMAX if Latias is on your bench. And then during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from Pokemon VMAX. If Mew VMAX, it could, of course, Bossosaurus your Latias or Bossosaurus something else, but they will need Bossosaurus in order to do that in the first place, and if they don't have it, they're gonna be in trouble because they won't be able to poke damage onto your Mew. How amazing is that? You slap like 70 damage with your Latias attack, by copying it with Mew VMAX, and then finish it off with, of course, the attack of the Genesect 210. So Genesect will almost be always on the bench because of the high amount of Quick Ball, Great Ball, and of course 4 copies of Genesect, and Genesect draws cards, so it's always going to be on play, which is awesome. We just need to make sure that it doesn't get shut down by stuff like the aforementioned Path to the Peak. That's why we're running 4 copies of Old Cemetery to comprehend that. Okay, what else do we have is Oricorio for some additional defense. Sometimes you might actually want some additional defense. As a little example, our Genesect has 190 HP. Oh no! Well, Galarian Moltres is gonna try and slaughter this. If you're up against Moltres, you're probably just saying, oh, I'm gonna go lone Genesect on this one. And that's why we need the Oricorio to protect ourselves. 20 less damage from your opponent's attack are done to all of your Fusion Strike Pokemon. So that means Genesect will survive, and it's going to be able to slaughter 2 Galarian Moltreses until you are happily ever after, and then you're going to be able to, of course, finish the job with Mew because Moltres will be long gone. So very, very cool to see. We also have the additional buff against specific attacks. Might also have Mew VMAX get some more durability. You might even think about adding in Big Charms in here. So many options available with Mew VMAX. Okay, moving forward, we're also going to be running 4 copies of Cross Switch, and the reason why we're playing all of these item cards is just because if you can play them, you empty your hand, you can draw yourself up again with the Fusion System ability of the Genesect Vs. Also, I should let you know is that we're running a Peony engine, which means we always dump our hand completely, get whatever we want, and then draw ourselves back up again with Genesect. That's always the stuff we're doing, so that's why we're running 4 copies of the Peony. And the Peony engine actually crumbles apart as long as Path to the Peak is in place, so you will need to find a counter stadium. Sometimes the Peony could be finding Old Cemetery on something you need. Sometimes it could be finding 2 power tablets, slapping an additional 60 In the past, I used to play Zapdos Jirachi with Electro Powers, and you saw me on stream. I always loved slapping down the damage modifiers. That was just so perfect. And this time around, you can easily scout them out instantly with Peony. And that's also the reason why we're playing the new Cross Switcher card. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon, basically Boss's Orders. If you do, switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. So you have additional switch outs. You already have free retreat, so this Guzma kind of effect is very, very good. It only works if you play 2 of them at the same time, but we still have 2 copies of Boss's Orders. Sometimes you just have 1 puzzle piece in the hand. You say like, oh, how cool is this? You just empty your hand again with stuff like Quick Ball and just insta-playable cards and draw yourself up. Ha! Secondly, the second copy is here. Bam, you have the Guzma effect. Sometimes you just scout out both of these cards instantly with Also, another thing you can do is like Peony, get 1 and then just hope you can find the other one with the fusion system. So many great things with that ability for sure, but having Guzma kind of effect definitely helps out to gust up whatever you please. Moving forward is the Elesa Sparkle, or Elesa Sparkle, whatever you want to call this girl. She's fantastic. Choose up to 2 of your fusion Pokemon and play. For each Pokemon you chose, search your deck for a fusion energy and attach it to that Pokemon. So that means if you have Genesect and Mew, you accelerate fusion energies to both of them. And on top of that, you have stuff like Peony. Peony can discard your hand, find yourself Energy Search and maybe something else you want. And then out of nowhere, you can have Energy Search and Metal Saucer. You discarded the Metal Energy. You, of course, attach it with Metal Saucer, use the Energy Switch. You have free retreat on the Mew. And boom, you can attack with Genesect easy as pie. So very, very cool to see Elesa Sparkle in here. And also will allow you to get back-to-back Mew VMAXs if one of them gets knocked out. So energy acceleration, very, very cool to see. Only 2 copies. And the cool thing is, this list doesn't even need to run like bazillion research because of how bonkers Genesect's ability is. You just need to slap down Mew, Genesect. The more Genesects, the merrier. That's what I always say. And last but not least is just talking about the fusion energy in general. This energy will allow you to be immune from Pokemon abilities. That means stuff like Dark Signal of the Umbreon, forget about it. Quick Shooting of the Inteleon, did I say Inteleon? Dark Signal from the Umbreon, you're immune for that. Stuff like Quick Shooting from Inteleon, you're immune to that. Galarian Zigzagoon Headbutt Tantrum ability. All the abilities do not affect the Pokemon that this energy is attached to, which is super awesome for sure. Also, the Oricorio can sometimes finish off stuff with dropping 5 damage counters wherever you please, so don't sleep on Oricorio. You can get this off with the Elesa Sparkle as well. There's also 1 Vitality Band in here. Not only is it great to slap 220 damage on stuff like Zacian V, it could also help out with the numbers. Sometimes you have that additional 10 damage to slap more damage with the Mew VMAX, slapping 220 on top of the power tablets. You're actually going to be getting some numbers that you otherwise wouldn't get. But yeah, that's pretty much the list. You have 2 saucers. You might think, why only 2 saucers? Well, you can find them easily with Peony, and that's the only thing you need to do is play Elesa Sparkle, and you can actually get an energy already on the first turn, and then the second turn, Peony, Energy, Saucer, boom, you can go crazy. You can even like Cross Switcher on top of that to gust up the Galarian Moltres that is really having some troubles by your side. But yeah, this is my current build on Mew VMAX. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about Mew VMAX. If you are, of course, fan of Mew VMAX, be sure to let me know by destroying the hell out of the like button. Helps out in many ways. Only takes 1 second of your time and is the best way and reliable way to support the channel more than ever before because, yeah, YouTube algorithm and all that stuff. You know how it goes. I'm going to be making more deck profiles about Fusion Strike decks. Which decks do you want to see personally on the channel? Be sure to drop them below in the comment section. I think this is going to be a fantastic new deck. And probably going to be tier 1, tier 1.5, depending on how many Path to the Peak is still being played. I know Dragapult is still around with Path to the Peak. There are some other lists also like Jolteon playing Path to the Peak. It all depends on how popular those decks still are. And also you should know that Mew hits weakness against the Urshifu. So the Urshifus either need to adapt or they're going to get slaughtered by weakness. But yeah, anyhow, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And I will see you guys tomorrow with more Pokemon TCG epicness. And yeah, also check out our sponsors. PokemonStore.com, the best place for TCGO code cards. Of course, you're going to be able to get all the codes you need from Fusion Strike available at Pokemon Store very shortly. And they will be compatible with TCG Live. TCG Live, I expect an announcement probably coming later this week or maybe next week, and it's going to be fantastic to of course play on the new client. Yeah, the Fusion Strike cards will all be available there. Also go check out cardmarket.com, the best European website to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. Use the referral name ZapdosTCG and you're going to be helping me out ridiculously. And last but certainly not least is yourplaymat.com, the website to create your own unique custom playmat. You're going to be able to create one today by, of course, clicking the link down below. You get 10% off your order, and also they ship worldwide. So what are you waiting for? Maybe make a Mew playmat, of course, to go along with Mew VMAX. Anyhow, have a fantastic rest of your day. Hopefully you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.